Yes, thank you so much for that update. And King Peter Mumia of the Wanga Kingdom has waded into the contagious issue of the cane zoning in the sugar belt. Mumia says the practice will hurt the giant Mumias Sugar, given it has the highest cane crushing capacity, and ring fencing some zones is not the best practice. Let's cross over to Alan Ochanda for more details. Good morning to you, Alan. Please give us more details.
Well, Purity, yes, indeed. Remember that this debate has been alive for the longest time. Remember that Western Kenya is actually the bedrock of production of sugar. It's actually a practice and a trend that's actually been here for several decades, starting from the early 70s. And so, of course, it's now modernized. And remember that it's quite been ailing in the recent days, of course, due to lack of raw materials, which actually is actually sugar cane and also the shrinking land. But of course, we've also seen policies that, according to the farmers and of course stakeholders, actually been hurting. Of course, one of them is actually zoning of the sugar belt. Remember that we have several cane factories here, and so we've seen policies like zoning being really being put in place in the past, but due to maybe unavoidable circumstances, we've seen farmers and stakeholders really coming out and saying the best, because some factories like Mumias Sugar companies actually really has a larger crushing capacity, and so if you zone and really restrict them to a specific zone, then they say will actually be hurting them. And so today we actually privileged to be hosted here by the king of the Wanga Kingdom here, King Peter Mumia. Of course, he's still in that particular kraal where he's actually meeting his what you can actually call his cabinet there, of course, revered Council of Elders here. But of course, you also have been joined here by some farming stakeholders here, maybe farmer stakeholders here. Maybe just move here, just tell us your name, what we really expect from your meeting with the king here about this particular debate on sugar zoning.
Good morning. My name is Richard Ochingo Gendo. I'm the Secretary General of Kenya Sugarcane Growers Association, which is part of Kenya National Alliance of Sugarcane Farmers Organization, where I'm also the Secretary General. Now, this meeting was requested by the National Alliance of Sugarcane Farmers Organization, and the King graciously honored our request to host us today to hear what we have to say on the key issue, which is zoning. The King, as the custodian of culture within this area, you remember Mumias Sugar Mills carries his grandfather's name and his name too. So it is a factory that is dear to him. But most importantly, we want to address these issues of zoning once and for all, because it kills farmer motivation, it kills productivity, which is what we should actually be addressing. So we hope to have a very fruitful meeting with the king and his cabinet, and we hope that he will also see our point of view, that if you zone Mumias today, you kill Mumias. So enemies of Mumias are the ones doing this. Yeah.
We saw 2 months ago, we saw the National Assembly Committee on Agriculture was actually here. And of course, one of the key issues, contagious issues, was actually on the debate of zoning. Maybe have they already made their recommendations as to whether zoning will be there or not? Of course, you are actually attending those sessions.
When we first had the Wamunyinyi bill, which has now been picked by Wangwe, Emmanuel Wangwe, the MP for Navaholo, who is now presenting the bill, it's basically the same bill. We resolved the issue of zoning conclusively. Unfortunately, the bill did not go through the Senate, so it died. Now, the mischievous characters have picked it up again from where they left last time, because they want to imprison farmers. What we need to do is, the same people who want to imprison us now are the same people who taught us about Sokohuru. This matter was conclusively decided at the Kakamega Law Court. It is case number 24 of 2014, that the farmer owns the cane and has the right to sell to whomever he or she wants, unless there's a contractual obligation, which we will respect. But suffice to say this to the National Assembly: we may be very poor farmers. We may not have the money like the millers who are running around with a lot of money to give. But we will talk to our people. We will talk to our king. And then we shall see. We will have the final word on this.
Nice. Well, because of time, we shall also still be talking to all of you here in the subsequent bulletins from my 11, and also the King, of course, to just hear from what they have about the zoning debate here. But Purity, of course, listening from the stakeholders here is that they are now engaging the King here. Of course, one of the custodians of this particular kingdom here, where this particular factory was actually set up back in 1970 to just have audience with him, so that maybe he could take the memorandum to a higher authority. Just ensure that there is no sugar zoning in this particular sugar belt, which they say is actually hurting that small farmer in the village. Purity.
Right, Alan, coming to us from the lakeside.